Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today on our Tech with Heart platform. And we're excited to have Juliet Clark with us today. Hi, Juliet.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. And for those of you who are interested in becoming an author, self-published author, Juliet has already navigated that route, and she's going to be talking to you in a little bit about what does that look like and how can you be successful not only in getting your book published, but then how you can make a lot of money with that book through different systems and online funnels and all that. So just writing the book is one part of the challenge, and then there's that whole after the book's written part of the challenge. She's going to talk to us about how we can be better prepared for that journey. But before we get having Juliet share all that with us, I wanted to just invite you to join the Tech with Heart movement. Tech with Heart all came about as a calling, I believe, that was placed upon my life when I was owned my own graphic design agency for a while. I was doing great things, had a lot of great time creating visual content that helped people like promote their brand and get their message out there. But then in 2012, I was disrupted severely. Like I was introduced to a new technology that just blew my mind, and I couldn't sleep for 2 whole weeks. So I really did feel like it was a calling to step into this tech founder position that I find myself in today. And in so doing, I created an app, and I found out that through human connection, this technology enhances human connection so much so. Let me just share a beautiful story. It's kind of like why I'm doing Tech with Heart. So this technology is called augmented reality that I was called into. And a young lady friend of mine saw that I could make images and objects come alive with virtual content when they were viewed through our free mobile app. And she came up with the idea to send her boyfriend, who is a deployed soldier overseas, a greeting card that when he saw her come alive on the card, he would feel more connected to her at home. So he would feel that a part of home is with him. I just love the idea. So this is what we created together, her and I. And then we sent it to him. And when he watched it come alive through the app, I'll show you what it looks like. He said it rocked him to his core. Just imagine you being the soldier and watching this happen on the card.
Hey Josh, it's Gabby. Yes, I'm on an app. Kind of weird, but it's raining here, and
isn't that beautiful? So the greeting card that he sent to her came alive with a message from her to him directly, and he said it just rocked him to his core. The oceans disappeared, and he felt that she was right there with him. So he carried this card in his wallet every day while serving because he felt that much connected to her. Yeah, her. So anywho, I love that idea, and I really believe that this technology is going to be what enhances human connection. So Tech with Heart came about because I was showing business owners this technology, and they all loved it, and they wanted to use it for their business. So now we can make things like business cards, rack cards, even book covers, Juliet. Book covers can come alive with a video talking about the book. Let me see if I can get this one to go. Look at that. So now books can even come alive. So any materials that you're going to be handing out to your potential people can now come alive with an additional connection and message. Well, the Tech with Heart Network came about because people were blown away when they saw this amazing new technology, and they told me they're just so overwhelmed by all the things that are happening so fast in the digital landscape. They know that it's important to stay up on top of things, but they're very overwhelmed because they have so much that they're already trying to keep on top of. So Tech with Heart came about because I heard the cry for small business owners to say, hey, please help us, guide us, direct us, give us the knowledge that we need, and then show us how to do that, what it is that we need to do. So we created this network. So it's about bringing on experts like Juliet to talk to you about things that are going to be beneficial for you and your business, but you're provided a safe space to ask those questions. So you don't feel like somebody's going to ridicule you because you don't know something about technology. For heaven's sakes, not everybody knows everything, right? I don't know everything. I'm still growing every single day. But what we are is we're a heart-centered, forward-thinking group of entrepreneurs, small business owners, and medium-sized business owners who want to come alongside you on your journey and encourage you and empower you. So it's a community, it's an empowerment, and it's an enlightenment. So that's what Tech with Heart is. And I ask you to please join the Tech with Heart Network mailing list by going to techwithheartnetwork.com. So that's why Tech with Heart exists. That's why I'm doing these interviews. So I'm introducing you to amazing entrepreneurs and business owners and experts in their industry, such as Juliet Clark. So with that, let me do a proper introduction to Juliet. So Juliet Clark began her career in traditional publishing, and then she moved on to advertising. She has big agency experience working on like $1 billion Nissan account. And then she's also worked at Mattel Toys. So she's got some experience, people. And in 2008, she wrote her first book and found the self-publishing world a bit strange, and it rarely served the author's best interests. I found that to be true. I'm an international best-selling author myself, so it's definitely, you learn a lot when you step into a realm like this. Her third book, though, was an international bestseller, and then she began her publishing company, Super Brand Publishing, in 2012, with a mission to help nonfiction authors understand how to build a platform, like we spoke about, so that you can make more sales, how to build those sales and marketing funnels, and gain visibility in the marketplace for your book. And in 2015, this business expanded beyond authors. Now she helps coaches, speakers, and small business owners build funnels with a proprietary system that she's going to hopefully enlighten us about, that allowed for more lead generation, more closing of sales, and increased revenue growth. So she's the best known for her best-selling assessment marketing program, which I'm curious about, that helps entrepreneurs connect with their ideal audiences and gather consumer information and qualified leads. So welcome to the Tech with Heart stage, Juliet Clark from Salt Lake City, Utah. Woo!
Woo-hoo! I feel like a thank you, LA. No.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Tech with Heart stage. So Juliet, let's just start with one question. What is the biggest mistake that people make when selling books, products, and services online? Because I know you talked about systems. You talked about creating a proprietary system. So what is the biggest mistake people are making right now?
So how we kind of morphed into this was we had a lot of authors bringing us books that they had already written. And when we asked them why, I'm getting to this in a minute, why they'd written it, they said they went to some sort of business acceleration. They wanted to grow their business, some sort of course or event, and immediately they were told they needed a book. And we kind of dove into more of, wait a minute, you had products and services, they weren't selling, now you've written a book, which will probably be another failed product or service. So what we saw people doing was, instead of really deep diving into who their avatar is, who they were serving, and understanding inside and out their consumer and being able to connect in some products and services, they were just constantly creating without a solid audience. Make sense?
Yeah. So next question is then, what do you believe is the biggest money waster when building a platform?
The biggest money waster is not knowing your audience, not spending the time getting to know them. We see out in the coaching industry all the time, you need to be a speaker, you need to have a book, you need to have a program, you need to, we have a lot of our clients that come in that are $200,000 into coaches and trainings and no further along in what they're doing. They're about to go out of business because each of those has not developed the connection to the audience that is the right audience to them. When you're able to connect with your audience, understand them, serve them, which is what we do in advertising, inside and out, sales become really easy. You're getting feedback, you have connection, you're talking to these people, and they're telling you what they want and that they will buy it, versus creating and then trying to find that. That's what people are doing, is they're doing this, as my father used to say, ass backwards.
Get the cart before the horse, kind of.
Exactly. So what we do is we go and we build and we take a deep dive into what is that audience, where are they, what platform, are you using the right platform etiquette, and then really connecting and having conversations. I think one of the things that people aren't understanding these days is when they go to a marketing company, to have a digital platform built, a lot of times that marketing company will ask you, who's your avatar? Who's your ideal client? And then they'll build a campaign for you, and then you're paying them a monthly fee for Facebook and Google ads. And in the process of that, you have an ad spend, and 6 months down the line, they come back and they say, oh, that really wasn't working. We need more money. And the right way to do that is to be connecting with that audience and actually having solid data and knowing who those people are, because you've already had conversations with them. So I think that's one of the mistakes. Another one we see all the time is that our consumers have shifted. Mm-hmm. What worked in 2013 didn't work in 2015, didn't work in, our consumers have morphed and become more savvy. There's been a lot of things on the internet that they've gotten ripped off. They're much more cautious. They need to have trust built. They need a relationship. And I think one of the things in the marketing world that is failing is that the nurture campaign will do this for you. And, taking someone from a free lead magnet to a purchase in 7 emails has never allowed me to feel nurtured or loved. I've never gone to bed at night thinking, oh my God, Michelle sent me the most encouraging email and I love her and she loves me. I think I'll buy tomorrow. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, that doesn't happen. I need to know you. I need to know your reputation. I need to know you deliver. So I think that is what we're really missing, is that one-on-one personal connection with our consumers.
And that's exactly what Tech with Heart is encouraging. How is it that we can, so for those of you who don't even know what a lead magnet is, because again, I'm talking, my audience are more small business owners just stepping into this entrepreneurial space perhaps, or getting going, and maybe they don't know all the lingo. But a lead magnet is an offer or a video or something that's going to draw attention to get people to want to click on that learn more button or to the buy now button or something. It's to get them to come into your system, meaning it could be your web page where it has a specific page built for that particular campaign that you're putting out there to the world through social media ads, getting them to come in and to want to enter into your funnel. And when they enter your funnel, they call it a funnel, so that they enter their name and their email usually. And then they're in your, she talked about the nurturing campaign, she went nurturing campaign. That is a series of emails that tend to go out to you once you've opted in to learn more. So I'm just trying to put a little bit more like layman's terms to some of the phrasing that you were using so that everybody's on the same page. Because what Juliet is essentially saying is that these nurturing campaigns aren't being as effective as they were just a couple of years ago, because people are learning, especially I'm noticing because of the Tech with Heart space, and also I'm a tech founder, things like artificial intelligence, machine learning are stepping in for businesses to do a lot of that lead generation work for them. And I'm finding it's feeling very stale. It falls flat for me because it does not have that human connection factor, because you can tell it's a automated system. Mm-hmm. And I've talked about this a lot in some of my other Tech with Heart interviews, is that if you're not putting some time in with your heart in it to connect and communicate with, authentically connect with people, then they're not going to want to invest back into getting to know you and learning and trusting you. So that is a great point that you brought up. I'm interested to see if you could give us some enlighten us to some of the techniques, I guess, that you are using to help authors do that, because I'm finding that you just run out of hours in a day. You want to have all these one-on-ones, but it's nearly impossible. So what can an author do to make those connections with people? What do you suggest that they do?
Well, the first phase is to go back and find out why your products and services weren't selling before you even released the book. And the reason for that is you're not going to retire to Tahiti with a $9.99 book. The gold is really in, well, I'm not. The gold is really in those higher ticket items you have So going through and using the quizzes to be able to identify the success points of what you do and have people self-reflect on where they're at with it. So immediately we are shifting from a paradigm, which writers will understand, of when people take that quiz and they're self-reflecting where they're actually at. Now we're no longer telling people that they don't have the skill set to be successful. We're showing them. And that is much, much more powerful when I am out going through a series of tasks that I think are going to make me successful. And I'm seeing, in comparison to what success looks like, that I'm not getting the conversion that I need there. And it doesn't matter what field you're in. If the expert there is laying out success principles and you're not meeting those, then you know that something's not right. The other thing that leads people into this lead generation with this is there's a commitment section in it where we ask really tough questions. You know, are you committed to solving this problem, and do you have time and money to invest? Because if you're an entrepreneur, you probably talk to people all day long who think you have the most brilliant ideas and no money to invest in themselves. So what we're really getting down to is streamlining this, and the quizzes that we put together for this take 2 to 4 minutes. So what we're really doing is making it a very short process that leads to a conversation if you're a highly committed person. So then as an entrepreneur, we're not wasting our time talking to all of these people, trying to convince them. We have people come into the conversation that are already convinced they need help and that you're the answer. So that's what we do first, because we want to go back and find out why those big ticket items didn't sell. And a lot of times we'll ask an author to rewrite a book, you know, based on what now you have learned about your consumer. Did you actually write the right book for them? And do you want to go and release it? So the book can also be used inside of the funnel as the thank you page, because it's a low threshold piece that you can drive traffic to. And so what we're really doing is instead of that old paradigm that I'm going to exchange a piece of my genius for an email address. And by the way, let me just mention, people are exhausted by email. I don't open probably 75% of what comes into my box anymore. Exactly. Because I know it's going to be a waste. Now we're actually shifting from bringing people into that self-assessment and into leads. So it shortens the process. We're talking to the people who are committed and know they need us today, instead of trying to work with 1,000 people in our list who are uninterested. They got in it for the free stuff. So let me define that a little bit more. The old paradigm is that you would opt in, which is give your email address in exchange for genius. Now what we're saying is opt in, reflect on your skill set, and give us your name, telephone number, and email address. And then let's have a conversation. And the first objection I get on this all the time is, what if they won't give me the email address? Not the email address, the phone number. All the marketers tell us don't ask for too much information. I'm going to call BS on that, because if they won't give you the information, they're not your people.
Exactly. So do you hear what Juliet's saying? Vet out the people who are going to waste your time. Vet them out. She's doing a quiz, and she's asking for 3 very simple things: name, email, and phone number. If they're not willing to give that information up, she can identify already that they're not serious about growth. They're not serious about making changes and bettering themselves, and obviously learning more about how they can be successful as an author, selling their book or selling their more expensive coaching systems, and using the book as that lead magnet that draws people in. So thank you for that, because boy, oh boy, can we just like spend so much time wasted. And that is the one asset, y'all, that you cannot ever buy back. No money in the world is worth as much as your time. So that is a very great point. Thank you so much for that. Let me see. How do you use your assessment marketing? You spoke about that. I'm interested to learning. Is that what you're talking about? The quizzes? Is that your assessment marketing?
Yes, it is. And we actually we've developed our own system of using it. It's actually someone else's platform. She developed the platform, and we've added a lot of marketing layering to what we do. So the assessment marketing is very different than anything out there because we're generating the leads in a very qualified way, and we're generating them ourselves. So we have about 9 different ways that you can use it. You can, one of the best ways that people are using it is from the stage or pre-marketing from the stage. So if they're out giving talks to networking groups or, you know, they're paid speakers, large events, they can actually start conversations with these people versus before where, you know, they would pass a sheet of paper around the room or they would give a free report. This actually gives them a lot of data about their consumer. And that's where I feel it's an even exchange of information, because in the past, people have been opting in just to get the free stuff. And that doesn't help us as an entrepreneur at all. But when we can have people take the quiz and we start to develop the patterns of where people need help, now we're sort of doing a digital listening. They're talking to us. They're showing us patterns over and over, where they need help, where they want help, where they're struggling. And so that's what's really important about it. The other thing we do inside of the program, and probably every marketer out there will hate me, is that we actually have a lot of really solid education about places we see the digital marketing world failing. So when we're on this, we're looking at, you know, do you know what traffic you're talking to? Are you speaking to hot traffic? Are you speaking to cold traffic? Are you speaking to traffic that needs nurturing? Because all of those different things are going to formulate how you speak to that particular audience. Are you, you know, a lot of marketers out there, they really go in hard about the message and the platform you're on. Well, what about the brand perception? Because brand perception is not it's not what you say your brand is, it's what your audience says your brand is.
Exactly.
And we see a lot of that over on Twitter when companies are saying, I'm fantastic at customer service, and their clients are tweeting, you know, you suck.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, now we actually have other methods of seeing that our businesses are out of alignment. And I think the last thing that a lot of marketing companies are really missing out on is, what do these consumers want? A lot of the big companies can do this because they invest in market research, which is very expensive. A lot of little companies don't have the ability to do this in a really meaningful way. And so a lot of times their marketing fails. So we actually educate people on, you know, when you hire that company and they ask you for the avatar that you're working with, to really challenge them about, well, wait, if I knew my avatar, I wouldn't need you. And to go into those places where, you know, where are the disconnects in the funnel you're building for me? People are stopping. And looking actually at when they're telling you it's going to be 6 months and $50,000 to figure out if that's your audience, challenging them on that. Is there a money back guarantee? How do I know you're going to get this right? This is a lot of money. Why is it taking so long to test? So we really look at educating them on all those things. And the reason we do that is I challenge any of you to call up Lexus and try to make your car payment with clicks. And I bet you, if you figure out
So can you say that again?
I dare you to call Lexus and say, hey, Lexus, I'm out of money. Can I make my car payment with clicks this month? I gave all my marketing money to the marketing company that's telling me that they're getting results and they got 1,000 clicks and no sales. So really challenging them on the wise use and guaranteeing ROI on what they're doing.
Wow, that was a mouthful. Juliet, just so you know, sometimes your frame is actually a square. So if you can center yourself, there we go. Because oftentimes your face was getting spliced in half and we wouldn't want.
That's so funny because I'm on Be Live. That usually doesn't happen with Zoom. So sorry about that, guys.
Well, yeah, Be Live, it splits the screen right in half. So now you're perfectly centered and you look beautiful. Okay, so wow, what she just said was so valuable, and I've been hearing a lot of conversations around this concept of, like, if you're going to hire a professional marketing firm, find out, you know, what kind of a guarantee are they willing to step up and do, because you can spend so many, like, scads of hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing, and you may not see the results that you were promised, and they're like, oh well. So it really pays to be a whole heck of a lot smarter and ask them to help you identify if you are indeed going after the right people and finding out exactly where those people are hanging and studying. A friend of mine has this program called ACT. A stands for analyze. You have to analyze. That's the part of the analytics part where you're analyzing who is your avatar. Then you create your content, and then you drive your traffic. So traffic, for those of you who, again, don't understand these phrases, traffic means how do you get people to your lead page where you have your offer, and how do you drive people to convert to sales? So that traffic is people, essentially, more sales.
Well, and you bring up a good point. For a lot of small business owners, their goal is they build this huge website, and their goal is to drive traffic there. If you want really dedicated traffic, you need a lead page, because people can go to your website. There's so much information, they're lost, and now you haven't captured anything from them.
Yeah, so yeah, lead pages is just a singular page within your site, perhaps, that is specifically designed to quickly capture the sale or the information, or just, you know, exactly what it is that you promoted out there when you're promoting it on social media or Google Ads or whatnot. And then ROI, for those of you who don't know, ROI is return on investment. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm touching base there. So you want to make sure, if you're going to be spending your dollars, that you're going to get a return on those dollars. And there's a whole world of marketing out there. I found that it is itself a full-time job, and you definitely need to possibly join forces with Juliet. It sounds like she so knows what she's doing. She's not going to just take your money and hope and cross her fingers that it's going to be successful. She's got this whole assessment marketing concept seemingly fleshed out, which is phenomenal. I've not talked to anybody that kind of addresses all of those things in that exact type of way, where being aggressive to make sure that it is going to be successful. Who has time to be wasting money? Not very many people.
No.
So let's open it up for questions out there on Facebook land. If you have questions for Juliet, you're thinking about becoming an author, you know it's going to help position you to be more of an expert in your space, which obviously will drive more sales to your higher ticket items, whether it be a coaching program, an online training program that you have, or whether you just want to get on stages and start being a speaker. If you want to be a speaker, it's great if you have a book, because people love that. You can sell the books. It's just a win-win. It's all a positioning thing, but it's also a beautiful thing to actually share your word out there and share your knowledge, share your story. If you have questions for Juliet, please type them in the comments. And then, Juliet, what is the most important next thing that people must know about social media, funnels, and sales that you may have not covered already?
You don't need a big extensive funnel. You can work all of this with a very small funnel. I mean, we see big companies have very extensive funnels. If you have an intellectual product you're selling, you don't really need that huge funnel. You can do something very simple. What else do I know?
What does a simple funnel maybe look like? What does it consist of, perhaps?
That's great. We actually have the high, medium, and low. That's it. If you want to connect a bigger funnel, so it looks like the series of questions, a thank you page, maybe a few open-ended questions, and then the email autoresponder, which is where you send the emails from. So you don't need something that's going out and, when you're a beginner, you don't need one that segments and buckets and, does all of this sophisticated stuff right away.
So what she was talking about.
I love it. Okay.
Break it down into layman's terms. So what she was saying is that to segment and bucket people is that funnels are meant to drive more sales, and the way that you drive more sales is that through each page within a funnel, you're hopefully honing in more on what that particular person is, who they are, what they're looking for, and what's going to help make them close that sale. So the messaging shifts based upon questions that you're asking along the way in the funnel. So segments and buckets are putting people into different categories based upon the way that they're answering the questions, I should say. So did I do that right?
You did very well. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, you do not have to make it complicated. Again, if you're interested in learning with Juliet, she has her own quiz I'm going to be sharing here in the comment section. is there anything else that you would like to just wrap up for the small business owner, the entrepreneur? Any words of encouragement that you could perhaps give them to step out and do this uncomfortable thing?
Learn as much as you can about it before you step out and do it. I know a lot of entrepreneurs don't want to do it themselves, but go through and do it yourself the first time. Be very involved, because I think where we see the most marketing failure is when the actual entrepreneur is not engaged in the setup process and testing and looking at it, just saying, okay, do it. And then there's not much understanding when it fails because they haven't been so integrally involved. So be very involved in the whole process.
That's a good point. And the same thing is back to that connecting part with your potential audience. You need to be the one. Facebook Live, guys. Facebook Live is a really great way to be regularly in front of your Facebook followers. And hello, join the Facebook Live.
I have turned off.
So be in front of them regularly, and don't just do one. Like she was saying, I mean, I have like over 2,000 unread emails in my email inbox. I'm sure other people. I did a contest once. I think somebody had like 10,000 unread emails. So don't just go out after getting in front of people through one medium, meaning email. Try texting. Try Facebook Messenger. Try Facebook Lives. Try calling. Try calling on the phone. Actually, people still do pick up the phone. It's pretty awesome when they do. And I personally, I thank people when they pick up the phone. I'm like, thank you so much for picking up the phone just now. Because everybody's like, is this going to be another, so much crud is getting sent at us from all these people. Again, it's that Autobot stuff. It's that machine learning software that's sending out all of these robocalls. And it's just annoying as heck. It's not real. It doesn't feel real. There's no authenticity there. So just be as authentic as you possibly can when sharing. Like I've been doing some Facebook Lives because I'm seriously excited, guys. I'm going to be written in I have a chapter in the Experts and Influencers Leadership Edition book coming out, and it's launching on July 19th, and I'm stoked. And so I'm sharing that with people. I'm like, hello, I'm stoked. Will you come alongside me and support me to become a bestseller again with this book? Because if everybody buys the book on the launch day through Amazon, we get to make a bestseller list. And that's huge for a business owner who's put the effort and energy into becoming a published author, to come alongside them and support it by purchasing a book for $1, the ebook. Of course, it's the ebook. That is huge. So share it, and share it proudly. I mean, you worked hard and you know your stuff. And so it's okay to ask. It's okay to ask for people to come alongside you and support you. They want to. They're thrilled for you for the most part. There's always haters. Haters wherever you go, right? You just got to just shrug that off, because it's not about you. It's about them at that point. There's not much you're going to be able to do to help shift and shape them unless they have an aha moment and realize that that is not the way that they should be going around in life. But all right. So Arlene, I see you're on. Do you have any questions for Juliet before we go? This is your chance, girl. She's the expert. So if you have questions, please put them in the comments. And I put out there her website is superbrandpublishing.com. Now I'm going to share her quiz, which is a free quiz that you can take. And what will they learn if they do the quiz, Juliet?
They will find out where their platform building skills are at.
So they will learn a lot about how they need to potentially move forward. Is that what you're saying?
Okay. Absolutely. So what's built out effectively, what's not built out effectively.
Awesome, guys. Well, this has been incredibly helpful for me. I don't know about you. I sure hope it has been helpful for you. Again, superbrandpublishing.com is Juliet's website. Promoteprofitpublishquiz.com. I just posted it in the comment section. Go ahead and take the quiz there. Feel free to reach out to her. And you can reach out to her on Facebook, like her on Facebook, follow her on Facebook. And, she's a great lady, definitely knows her stuff. And I'm delighted to have met you, Juliet. Thank you so much for coming on as our special guest here. She says, I have questions, but my video keeps freezing.
Oh, no.
Technology. Okay. So thank you so much, Juliet. I'll let you go. Have a wonderful rest of your week, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. And please join techwithheartnetwork.com. for the next interview, which is next week, we're going to be talking about publicity, how you can become an expert in your own backyard. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.